What's going on, guys? Riley here from RP Productions. Today we're going to be talking about the 2018 Ford Mustang. Love it, hate it, everybody's got their opinion on this car, and well, I want to give mine, and I want to just talk about this car. You know, would I buy this car? Do I think it's a good move on Ford's part or not? So without further ado, let's just go ahead and dive right into this Mustang and let's talk about it. Now, being a Camaro owner, I think it's just expected that I should hate this car, and well, that's not the case at all. I actually think the 2018 Ford Mustang is actually a pretty badass car when you really sit down and think about it. So at the time of me making this video, there's a lot of unknowns about this car. We don't know what the horsepower, torque is going to be. We don't know the pricing, but all this stuff we can kind of just make general, you know, solid guesses about. Ford claims that the horsepower and torque are going to be up from their current numbers, which the horsepower is 435, and honestly I don't know what the torque is. But let's just be pretty conservative here, and let's just say they up the horsepower by 10. So we'll just say 445, 450 horsepower max. The car will still probably weigh around the 3,800 pound mark, 3,700 pounds maybe. So overall, I don't think, you know, the power to weight ratio and all that fun stuff isn't going to change drastically. I mean, they both might make minor improvements just to be like, oh, look, we improved something. But the rest of the stuff about this car is where I start to really like it. For example, the one that stands out the most to me is when you look in the interior, the all digital display dash that they have. I mean, that's really cool. I'll be honest, that upgrade alone made the world of difference to that car. I just always felt that the gauge cluster in that car was kind of always lacking behind and just kind of basic. So now you've got that as an upgraded interior feature. You have, you know, restyling in the front, which not everybody's a fan about. However, if we look back to when the 2015 Mustang came out, I think a lot of people were kind of skeptical about that car as well. They're like, oh, look, it looks like a Ford Fusion. So I think that eventually the general public and everybody will just kind of get used to it and be like, well, that's the new Mustang, and oh, it looks good. But to me, it doesn't look bad. I just think it needs to be in the right kind of configuration. There are a few configurations that don't look that great. I know when Ford unveiled the car, like the first day they unveiled it, it was like I think it was like an orange color, like mustard color. And in that color, I really don't think it looks that great. But if you look at it with like black or blue or, you know, one of the darker colors, I think it looks actually really nice. Also, I think it helps a lot if it has black wheels. When I saw this car in person, they brought a convertible model to the auto show for God knows what reason. But it was a convertible and it was on just some base model wheels. And I think, you know, if it was a hardtop and it had, you know, some nice premium wheels, I think the overall car would actually look really good. So as far as styling, I think it's just going to grow on everybody. The back end, they changed a couple things. It's got the dual exhaust now. I think that looks great. So rear end, good job. Side profiling is pretty close to the same, so that looks fine. And the front, it'll grow on people, and I'm sure the aftermarket will come out with all kinds of crazy stuff to make it look that much better for everybody that wants to modify their car. Now, as far as the motor goes in this car, it's still the beloved 5.0, which, you know, everybody knows this motor by now. It's in all the F-150s, the Mustang. It's a great motor. However, they're changing a couple things about it. I believe it's going to be direct and port injected. So when it comes to that, it has me thinking that if you buy like this first year model 2018 Mustang when it comes out, the tuning availabilities for this motor are going to be pretty slim, because it's going to take a while for everybody to figure out, all right, how do we, you know, modify this car? So if you're looking to buy one of these cars and you're looking to modify it, honestly, I would wait until 2019 to buy one, because that first year model, it's always a good general rule of thumb to not buy the first year model of a brand new car. They can kind of work out their kinks and everything like that. But especially when there's motor revisions, that's when you kind of are like, okay, I hope they got this right. And obviously, if there's any weak spots within the motor or within the car, they'll show within that first year, typically. So my advice would be wait till 2019 to buy one if you really want one, unless you're just that type of person that likes to guinea pig things or has to have the first, newest model of a car, then by all means, go out and get a 2018 and try it out. That's what you got a warranty for if you keep it. Another very interesting fact about the whole Mustang thing in general is that Ford is no longer going to be putting a V6 in their Mustangs. It's now you either get the EcoBoost or you get the V8, which I think is kind of weird, because honestly I've always preferred the V6 over the EcoBoost. I know the EcoBoost has a lot of potential in it, and you know, you get the better fuel economy and all that fun stuff, but I've driven an EcoBoost, I've driven a V6, and I much preferred the V6. Maybe that's just me. To me, the V6 was much more responsive, it felt faster, and it just, in my opinion, sounds better. It's just, I don't know, I'd rather take a V6 over an EcoBoost, but oh well, I guess Ford knows what they're doing with their marketing strategies, and well, here we go. See, your EcoBoost will never sound like that, and that's why I'd have to get the V8, but if I couldn't get a V8, I would take a V6. When you look at Chevrolet, what they've done with this 6th gen Camaro, it's, you know, they've had performance in mind, and that was what they wanted to do. But if you look at the sales of this car, they're actually not as great as I guess they were expecting them to be. Whereas if you look at the Mustang, sales are great, and the Mustang is not exactly the performance king. It's the better dailyable car, and you know, I think Ford will kind of keep with that. It'll still be the better dailyable car. Performance-wise, won't be as good, but it will be better. And you know, with the Mustang already being such a good car, I think it's going to be a fantastic hit. I think Ford's going to have a great selling Mustang on their hands, and I'm excited to see them out on the road. I'm definitely looking forward to Ford finally releasing all the full details on this car, and you know, it's definitely something I'll keep my eye on. Will I get it? I mean, the answer is probably not, but would I get it? Sure, why not? However, my general thought on this for most people out there is, you know, Riley, should I get the 2018 or should I get a 2017? And honestly, I would say get a 2017 right at the end of the year when they're trying to just get rid of them for all the new models coming in. You'll be able to get a killer deal on the 2017 Mustang. I mean, they're already being sold for, I had a buddy the other day, he went and bought a premium Mustang. I want to say the sticker was probably, give or take, just over 40, and I think he walked out of the door paying around 33 or 34 out the door price. But if Ford is already dealing that much on them, I can't imagine what it's going to be when, you know, the time gets a little bit closer to the 2018s, you know, hitting showroom floors. But yeah, that's my advice. Get a 2017, and unless you just got to have that new car, then get a 2018. So part of the reason I'm making this video is because I find it kind of interesting that there's a lot of negative things about this car being said on YouTube, or at least there were. I don't know if that's still the case, but I know when the Mustang was kind of first released, or the new Mustang was first released, people on YouTube were not happy about it. They're like, what is that? What does it look like? And you know, it's one of those cases where I think it'll just kind of grow on people. But it'll be interesting to see how many people change their mind after the Mustang is fully released, and then they'll be like, oh yeah, it's pretty cool. So yeah, there's my thoughts on the 2018 Mustang. I originally had a different video planned for today. I was actually going to do a review on my tires, but I got a flat in them. I got a flat in one of them a few days back when I was trying to record the tire review, and well, when you get a flat when you're trying to review tires, that doesn't really work out very well, so I had to kind of postpone that, and then I'm, you know, filling it in with this video. But I'm kind of glad it worked out that way, because I've been needing to make this video, and I wanted to make this video before the full specs are revealed, then I can kind of talk about that in a later video. But yeah, there's the Mustang talk. Tire review will be coming out very soon as well, now that I got my tire plugged and patched. I also have several other videos I had planned for this week, but it's supposed to be raining most of the days, so we'll see if Mother Nature cooperates or not. But yeah, I hope you guys have been enjoying your day thus far, and hopefully you continue to enjoy it. You can damn well bet I will be driving a 2018 Mustang within the first couple weeks, hopefully, of it being released, and doing a full review on it, and seeing what my thoughts and opinions really are on that car after getting behind the wheel. So with all that being said, thank you guys for watching this video, and I will see you guys in the next one. Take it easy.